There are many types of trading card game players out there. You've got the Timmies and the tryhards, the casual scrubs, and the one guy who tries touching your cards after eating like Doritos or something. Don't touch my cards with your disgusting, filthy hands, please and thank you. But out of all the people that I've ever played a trading card game with, there is one guy that stands out among the rest. Let's call him that guy. So to get something of an idea of what he looked like, take this guy and add in the Guy Fawkes facial hair, and you've basically got the gist of it. Now, I want to be very clear, in our playgroup, we never made fun of him, we never, were mean to him because of his looks, but I just wanted you to get an idea of what this guy looks like because he is quite literally Reddit personified. Now, this individual was a part of our playgroup back when I was playing Magic and playing Commander with my friends. We needed a fourth person, and my one buddy Shathid knew him and said, hey, he plays Magic, let's see if he wants to come and join our group. And that was great. We got our fourth player, we can have a ton of fun, and it's going to be a really great time. You probably know where this is going. He complained constantly, and I mean constantly, every game, multiple times. He would whine and cry if you targeted him. He would whine and cry if you attacked him. Oh, you're playing too much removal. Oh, how come you keep drawing cards? Oh, I can't get anything good in my deck. Now, not to brag, but despite there being 4 people in the group, I was the guy who won like 60+% of the games. I got very good in the Commander format. I got very good at deck building, I got very good at playing, I was very good at the political game, and he was new to the format. So even when I tried to offer him advice, like, hey, you need to run more cards that draw you cards, you need to run more ramp, you need to run more removal, get him from playing standard to playing Commander, very different formats. And he wouldn't listen. He would make arguments of why I was wrong and why this is actually good. And then I'd win another game and he'd complain about it and he'd say, oh, this is so unfair, your decks are so broken. No, my decks were just well built and consistent. There was times when he would play his Aloro deck and would gain a bunch of life, and so people would start attacking him. There was a round of the table where I attacked him, Shathid attacked him, and then my buddy Smigs attacked him. And at that point, he got very angry. So angry, in fact, that he leaned over towards Smigs and started yelling, screw you, very loudly. Like, he was just an asshole. He was playing a life gain deck. Like if you're gaining way more life than everybody else, what do you expect? Then came Tugrid, God of Fright. This thing was pushed to the extreme and in the most unfun ways. So naturally, my buddy Shathid built her. There was a game where it ended up just being Shathid on Tugrid and that guy on Aloro, who gains a crap ton of life. He was over 200 life, but that guy had no field presence. And he was just top decking. The Tugrid player had a small board presence and a sack outlet. And that guy got very angry. Every single turn, he would draw up and go, this is bullshit, I'm not even gonna keep this fine. And he'd throw the creature down and then it'd get killed. And then he'd be like, this is bullshit, Tugrid is such a busted card, this is so unfair, this is so, why does she do everything? Never occurred to him to draw the creature and, not play it. Like, if your opponent's just gonna steal it, you could just not play it, and then at like 60, 70 life, he top decks an Aetherflux Reservoir and wins. But hey, who could blame him? He just hates unfun strategies. Commander's supposed to be about fun. You shouldn't be playing control. You shouldn't be playing miserable strategies, right? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the greatest game show on Wraith. What will that guy do next? We're gonna give you 3 answers, and you have to try and pick the best one. If you win, you've got to subscribe. And if you lose, you also have to subscribe. Got it? So, what did that guy do next? Did he A, proceed to play janky fun decks and honor what he purported to value? B, play powerful but fair decks? Or C, act like a complete goddamn hypocrite and play the same things that he said he hated? This guy, who never shut up about how much he hated unfun strategies, played Blood Moon in his mono red deck. But there was a very specific game that really made me just honestly hate this guy. He played Zur the Enchanter, and he decided to take it as kind of a control-y style deck. I'm fine with that. I can handle unfun strategies, but I had actually just pulled the Vorinclex from Kaldheim and decided, hey, I'm gonna build a mono green deck around him. And so we sit down, the 4 of us are starting to play the game, and what does that guy do? Well, first he plays Rule of Law, which is an enchantment that forces everybody to play 1 spell a turn. He then gleefully, just is thrilled at the chance to do this. Okay, so this is a guy that doesn't like to get shut down, but he is over the moon because he realizes he can go fetch up this little niche black enchantment that has the ability to pay 2 black and counter a green spell after limiting us to only 1 spell a turn. And I'm playing mono green. And he made sure he kept open that 2 black mana, shutting me out of the game entirely. On its own, this would be a dick move. Again, I was a little upset because nobody wants to sit there doing nothing, but again, I'm a big boy. I can handle it. I'll just not play mono green against the Zur deck. It's not really that big of a deal. Losing 1 game is not the end of the world. But the fact that it was him, he was so unfun to play against. We all were glad when we left Magic and moved over to Flesh and Blood and didn't tell him about it. We didn't even invite him to come and play with us anymore. And so my final message to you guys is don't be that guy. Even if you're in a one-on-one setting, don't sit there and complain about what your opponent's playing. Like, we get it. You don't like people playing Channel Lake Frigid. You don't need to whine and cry to your opponent about it. Grow a spine, be an adult, stop acting like a little whiny baby, and just deal with it. Like, it's fine to be irritated and salty every once in a while. We all are guilty of that. But don't whine and cry about everything that you don't like, and then turn around and do those same things to other people. That makes you a hypocrite, that makes you an asshole, and that makes it so literally nobody wants to play with you. Don't be that guy.